The Ministry of Roads and Public Works is charged with the responsibility of providing basic infrastructure facilities to the public. These infrastructure facilities include development, rehabilitation and maintenance of the road network in the country, and maintenance of buildings and other public works. Key departments in this ministry include the Materials Department, Mechanical and Transport Department, Quality Assurance Department and Roads Department. These departments play a vital role in the improvement of Kenya's infrastructure.
Barabara ni mbaya. Masimu hata saa hii ingitengeneza wiki moja tena imekatika mahali naona. Lakini wakitengenezea barabara inakuwa vizuri. Hata ikiwa mwenyewe anarekebisha gari yake vizuri inaendelea na kazi.
Roads have exercised the national psyche for a long time. This is because they are in poor shape and communication in urban and rural areas is poor, where it has not ground to a halt altogether. Movement is difficult in many places, and this has adversely affected economic activities. Motorists have paid a heavy price. Running public or transit vehicles is indeed expensive, so much that many investors in this sector give up because of the immense losses they incur. But for those who soldier on, the costs are prohibitive, and this is why they raise transport and bus fares.
Well, every moment there is a fare hike. Those using our services look at us suspiciously as a community which wants only to make money into their wallets. They are not looking into the products that make us pass the cost to them.
Barabara yenyewe wamejaribu kurekebisha, ijapokuwa kuna sehemu mbaya zaidi. Swa kama kutoka Weybridge Mariakani hadi Miritini. Huwa inatutatiza mashimo nyingi.
Movement is difficult in many places, and this has adversely affected economic activities. Farmers bear the brunt of poor infrastructure. Lack of access to markets for their produce significantly affects commodity prices. Often, vegetables and fruits rot in farms, and farmers incur heavy losses. This is why many turn their backs on agriculture, for they do not see the fruits of their labor. At the best of times, brokers and middlemen go to the farms and buy their produce at throwaway prices.
Barabara za Kenya sasa haiko sawa, na vile serikali inajaribu kutengeneza. Unajua sisi kama raia wanga tunalipa kodi, na nafikiria katika bunge wanga wana allocate budget ya kujenga vitu kama hizo. Kwa hivyo hata ni vitu wangekuwa wameanza kujenga toka kitambo, lakini kwa sababu ya pengine kuna laxity, vitu kama hizo ndio imefanya barabara ziko mbaya namna hiyo. Lakini sisi kama raia wa Kenya wa nchi tunatarajia barabara zikuwe sawa.
Development and maintenance of the road infrastructure are prerequisites for economic growth and poverty reduction, as they influence production costs, employment creation, access to markets, and investment. Kenya's fast-growing economy relies on several different factors. Chief among these is an efficient and modern road network. A lack of adequate funding during the late 1990s and early 2000, coupled with heavy demand, placed a heavy burden on the road network, leading to the deterioration and poor road conditions.
This year alone, for the first time, the government has really given a lot of support to the roads infrastructure, in that we have about 30 billion within our development budget, and also 10 billion for road maintenance through the fuel revenue fund. So we have a budget of about 40 billion, over 40 billion, which is unprecedented.
The Kenya Road Policy Framework shows that the main initiatives during the first post-independence decade involved provision of infrastructure by the public sector and saw the development of rural roads using cess funds from sale of rural output. Rural access and minor road programs have characterized the Kenya Road Policy since the second decade.
We've not been carrying out what we call periodic maintenance of roads. Roads are constructed and they are left to fall apart. So we have a very big backlog, and over the last 3 years, and with a lot of emphasis this year, we are carrying out what we call periodic maintenance, which is a bit different from routine maintenance. Periodic maintenance is basically resealing of roads, as opposed to just bush clearing and filling up of potholes.
Several policy reforms for road infrastructure development typify the third and fourth decades. The landmarks in the road policy evolution include the formation of the Kenya Roads Board, the introduction of a road maintenance levy fund, and axle load limits, and moves towards increased private sector participation in all facets of road service delivery. The impact of Kenya's roads policy is demonstrated by the size of the roads network, which is fairly well developed. However, the network's operating condition has suffered from inadequate maintenance, repair, and rehabilitation, and the fragmentation of the institutional framework within which it is managed.
We have now started a program of technical audit which has been very weak. Now we are strengthening the technical audit on the roads construction, on the life of the roads. We are also strengthening the quality assurance department to undertake technical audits in operational and a report to this ministry through the Chief Engineer Roads and the Permanent Secretary.
The Kenya Roads Board is a statutory body established by the Kenya Roads Board Act of 1999. The objective and purpose for which the KRB was established is to oversee the road network in Kenya and thereby coordinate its development, rehabilitation, and maintenance, and to be the principal advisor to the government of Kenya on all matters related thereto. To ensure optimal management and value for money, the Kenya Road Board Fund is tightening its technical compliance, performance, and auditing functions to ensure that the approved annual public roads program is undertaken as provided and that the road network receives the best possible attention.
Our role is to implement policy as we disburse financing. And when we go out to undertake these technical compliance, performance financial audits, we are also ensuring the policies as promulgated by the ministry are also implemented.
The 32 billion shillings earmarked for road construction throughout the country will make an enormous improvement on infrastructure. Already, the effect can be felt, with roadworks going on in many parts of the country. Major highways are being repaired and widened, and motorists can already feel the difference. The Kenya Roads Board boosts construction and repair with funds from the Road Maintenance Levy Fund. In the last budget, the charge was raised from 5 shillings 80 cents to 9 shillings for each litre of petroleum petrol, regular petrol, and diesel consumed. The board expects to raise 15 billion shillings from this. It will also collect 266 million shillings from transit tolls and 60 million from coffee cess.
Barabara zetu ni ndogo, nyembamba, naona. Sasa unakuta nyembamba iko magari yanatakiwa pita hapo, kila gari inashughulika kupita, sasa unakuta iko jamu kubwa. Abatali bapanue barabara.
The economies require infrastructure. Now, with the monies that we were collecting previously, that was not enough. We realized that. We still know that even the 15 billion we'll be collecting is not enough. The public are complaining now. Yes, it's because they're feeling the pinch. But you can imagine once we get the roads sorted out, with smooth roads, what we call vehicle operating costs, accessibility to areas they want to go, shortening of time to reach the destination, then they will see the impact of the increased fuel levy. The wananchi should be a little patient. The payments will be seen very, very soon.
Already, the board gives 10 million shillings to each of the country's 210 constituencies. The funds are used to improve and repair feeder roads. This is important because even if the highways were improved and the inter-village and other feeder roads were not, the effects would not be felt at the grassroots.
Hiyo ni muhimu sana sababu barabara kama ni mzuri inafanya hata uchumi naendelea, vitu unatoka kwa mashamba kwa njia rahisi kufika sokoni.
The board has exhibited its transparency by publishing accounts of the money allocated to each province, district, and constituency in the national newspapers. They include national, primary, secondary, and feeder roads. In the past, money was allocated but roads were never built. When they were, the work was shoddy, but now the public can blow the whistle over poor work. The board has continued to ensure that a thorough job is done, verifying that officials and contractors who fall short of this are not spared. The Materials and Transport Department is charged with the role of advising the government on mechanical services and to provide and facilitate quality mechanical transport and plant for development and maintenance of infrastructure so as to promote and sustain socio-economic development.
The responsibility of Mechanical and Transport Department is to provide equipment and maintain equipment for development and maintenance of roads, as well as the department is charged with the responsibility of advising the government on mechanical engineering matters.
The department has been working on the procurement of the road renewal equipment to the tune of 2.4 million shillings. Through financing from the Republic of South Korea, the department has acquired various equipment that are used in various parts of the country for the maintenance and repair of roads and other infrastructure. In order to address the demand for increased funding for the department's activities, the department, with assistance from the government, has reactivated the Mechanical Transport Fund.
The fund was to procure equipment and to maintain, as well as to hire this equipment to road users. In 1983, the fund was suspended. The government was asked, or the ministry was asked, to revive the Mechanical and Transport Fund. This was done in 2003. The department has now a sustainable funding. This Mechanical and Transport Fund. When it was established, the government allocated 22 million as initial capital.
Currently, the department leases out its equipment to various contractors undertaking public and private contracts. This has ensured that the department is able to finance its operations. The government has been working hard to revive projects that have stalled for years. Projects that have been revived and completed include the police housing units in Ongata Rongai, GSU complex in Ruaraka, Ikuda Bridge, among many others. The PC's office in Nyanza is one project that is ongoing that will help the government improve on service delivery and save the taxpayers enormous amounts of money spent on rent.
So right now what we are doing is to complete one tower, because we also want to do it in an organized manner, not do it all, start it all at once and be unable to finish it. So we've done the center tower, and this center tower is almost finished.
The government is also working on a crackdown on unplanned structures.
Our ministry is in the process of putting this into effect. In fact, there was a cabinet paper prepared not so long ago where government again reiterated that they wanted this act. There was an act that was proposed to create this authority. This act be put in place so that you can have all this enforcement and regulation in one place. That would also simplify work for people who want to develop.
The government of Kenya has long been exerting its effort to relieve Nairobi city from unfavorable traffic conditions. The traffic volume in the central business district of Nairobi has been increasing year after year, and the situation is becoming worse due to the industrial and commercial development in these suburban areas. There is therefore an urgent need to solve the problem of traffic congestion in the main streets of Nairobi. The Ministry of Roads intends to open all the Nairobi bypasses and link roads. This will help solve the problem of encroachment on these bypasses and at the same time make them motorable.
The delays that are caused by the traffic jams in the city cost our economy a lot of money. Therefore, I think if they construct these bypasses, it's going to help in the economy when these delays are done away with.
We realize that they are very important, and that's the reason why we started opening up the bypasses, both the eastern, the northern, and the southern bypass.
In the bypasses, we have schools, we have hospitals, and private property. All these people, it could be a good move if the government can actually compensate them and create the bypasses, but not just to demolish them and leave the guys rotting in poverty.
All that we are doing as a ministry now is to tell them, please, we have no other land for the bypass. The land we had acquired is the one we need. So please take your time, give us your timetable how you are going to move out.
Overall, road policies should address the key issues relating to heavy vehicles and road traffic, whose numbers are significant today and are likely to become increasingly prominent in the future.